Smurf, and she said, one more word out of you, and you will be arrested for it. One more word out of you, and you will be arrested for contempt of court. So we leave the courtroom, right? We leave the courtroom. Grandpop Smurf and Grandma Smurf are waiting outside of the family court building. This is when family court was on 12th Street. For all my Philadelphia Africans, this is when family court was on 12th Street. It wasn't up on Arch Street yet. This was on 12th Street. For my Philadelphia Africans, my fellow brothers paying child support who can't see your children. This is when family court was on 12th Street. I call him Smurf because I don't want to give her legal name. I still want to protect her. That's the mother of my child. So I call her Mama Smurf because I don't want to give her a legal name. Not at this time anyway. If it comes to that, it comes to that. But not at this time. I don't want to give their legal name because I know how trifling the YouTubian struggle streamers are. I know how trifling the YouTubian struggle streamers are. And so when we get outside, Grandpop Smurf says, what? They didn't like, he said, what happened? And she said they let him go or something. And he was like, what? They let him go? So he comes over to me. You put your hands on my daughter? I said, I never touched your fucking daughter. What are you talking about? I never put hands on your daughter. And I'm not mad at Grandpop Smurf because that's what a father's supposed to do. He was lied to by his wife and daughter. I can't blame him. Grandpop Smurf, I ain't got no issue with you. Except you should have made your daughter let me see my child. But I ain't got no issue with you. You doing what a father's supposed to do. You were lied to. You were told by your daughter that I abused her. You didn't know no better. So I don't even fault Grandpop Smurf. He did what a father supposed to do. He wanted to fight the man who abused his daughter. So we was about to fight. And then that's when the family court police separated us. They grabbed me by the neck. They damn near grabbed me and lifted me and dragged me all the way through the damn family court like I had a gun or something. Was all that necessary? I guess because he was older than me. I guess they wanted to protect him instead of me. They grabbed me like 6, 7 cops, grabbed me and dragged me through the whole family court. No, I can't stop cursing, but you could get off my live if you want. You could get off my live if you want, because if you say something else disrespectful, I'm going to block you. So that was that. That day changed everything because I said, bro, you at the point of no return. This woman lied in court to try to get you shut down. No psychologist, no clinical psychologist, no school psychologist, no principal, no FDMG, no therapist, no diagnostician, no. She tried to get me put on the domestic abuse list. Child abuse list, domestic abuse, that's a felony crime. That woman tried to destroy me while she did nothing to the man who threatened my daughter's life and bust her windows out and left a death note. She tried to destroy my life while she did nothing to the man who bust her windows out, threatened her life, and left a death note. Thank God I called the police and had that police report. Thank God I called the police and had that police report. Thank God I called the police and had that police report. Baby Smurf, you are your mama's daughter. You look just like her. You act just like her. Baby Smurf, she spit you out, Baby Smurf. I still love you, Baby Smurf. You're a little crazy right now. I still love you. Once you out your mama house, I think we can build a relationship then. I still love you. I don't blame you for none of this, Baby Smurf. I blame your mama. She put the battery in your back. She's talking through you. You are the robot. You are the proxy. You are the duplicate. I don't blame you, Baby Smurf. Your father still loves you. You don't know no better. All you know is what you've been told. That's a shame that your mama lying to you. But I'm sure you and I will work it out when the time comes. Now, I'm going to give y'all one little piece from Mrs. Vegan. The small piece. I can't give you the major because I respect her and I don't want to drop bombs unless she don't let me see my daughter in the next 2 weeks. And if you live in Philadelphia and you know Mrs. Vegan, please get word to her. Get word to her brother. Get word to her mother at the restaurant. Let those vegan people know Dr. Umar needs to see his daughter in 2 weeks or he's going to tell people the truth. See, I went to every doctor's appointment for my baby, every prenatal for my eldest daughter. I went to every Lamaze class for my oldest daughter. I went to everything for baby Smurf. I was allowed to go to nothing for my royal princess. My baby girl by Mrs. Vegan, she didn't let me go to no doctor's appointments except the first doctor's appointment. She didn't let me go to no doctor's appointments except the first doctor's appointment. She kept me in the dark. When baby Smurf was born, I was there. When baby Smurf was born at Chestnut Hill Hospital, I was there. When baby Smurf came into this world, guess what? I was the first person to hold her after the Neanderthal delivery doctor. After that racist, nasty ass Neanderthal delivery doctor, I was the first person to hold baby Smurf. Did you know that, baby Smurf? Baby Smurf, I held you before your mama. I held you before your grandmama. Baby Smurf, did your mama tell you that I was the first person to hold you? Did your mama tell you I was in that delivery room with her for what, 14 hours? However long it took, we was there through the whole night, and then the sun came up and you came out. It was the most beautiful thing. Baby Smurf, when you were born, right? I think it was raining. If it wasn't raining, it was springtime because you was born in May, but it was raining. It was dark. She was in labor overnight. She was in labor overnight. And this is how I knew you was my child, because as soon as the sun came up, you came out. It was the most beautiful thing. As soon as the sun came up, you came out. It was the most beautiful thing. And the Neanderthal put you in my hands. He wrapped you in a white cloth and he put you in my hands, and I did a prayer over baby Smurf. I prayed over my baby. Yes, I did. I prayed over my baby. And then I gave you to your mother. And then I gave you to your mother. Now, baby Smurf, let me clarify something that your mother lied to you about. Baby Smurf, I want to talk about the birth certificate. I want to talk about the birth certificate. When Grandmom Smurf told your mother not to give you my last name, listen to me, baby Smurf. This is for you, baby Smurf. When Grandmom Smurf told Mama Smurf not to give you my last name, I told your mother I'm going to need a paternity test. I'm going to need a paternity test. My daughter not getting my last name, I'm going to need a paternity test. And your mother was absolutely enraged at my statement. She said that is an insult and that is disrespect for you to tell me you need a paternity test. And I said it is disrespectful for you not to give my daughter my last name. So after you were born, your mother remained in the hospital for a couple days, Chestnut Hill, Germantown Avenue. Your mother called me one night while she was still in the hospital, postpartum, and she said, you have to come and sign the birth certificate. I knew what was about to happen. I knew it. So I drive up to Chestnut Hill Hospital. It's nighttime. It's like 8, 9 at night. She waited until the nighttime because Mama Smurf and Grandma Smurf had to come up with their schemes. Oh, they some scheming ass people. Mama Smurf is a scheming ass woman, and she gave it right to baby Smurf. So I walks into the hospital room at Chestnut Hill Hospital. I walked into the hospital room at Chestnut Hill Hospital, and the birth certificate paperwork, it was like 3 to 5 sheets of paper. And she already had the papers folded back to the last page. She didn't say, read this and sign it. It's for the birth certificate. You know what this woman did? She went to the last page, folded the paperwork back, gave me an ink pen, and said, sign right here. I just need you to sign right here. You don't need to read it. You just need to sign right here. And I said to myself, do I look like a fool? I didn't say that to her. I said it to myself. I said, do I look like a fool? You think I'm going to walk into this white man's hospital with my scheming ass baby mom, and I'm just going to sign the last page and not read the first couple pages? Do you think I'm a damn fool? So I read the whole thing, and I believe she had her last name where the last name goes, or she had not filled it out. And I gave her the paperwork and I walked out. I said, I'm done with this and I'm leaving. And she said, why are you always thinking I'm up to something? She the one who started yelling. I didn't scream in no hospital. I didn't scream. I didn't raise my voice in no hospital. I gave her back the birth certificate paperwork. And I think I said, I'm tired of you playing games. I'm out. And she started yelling at me. And she said, why you think somebody always trying to do something to you? Why you always think I'm trying to get over on you? And I left. And she took me to child support court and we did the blood tests. Even though we waited on the blood tests, I still went to every pediatrician appointment. Do you hear me, baby Smurf? Because I pretty much knew you was mine. But so she didn't want to give you my last name at first. She changed her mind to avoid the paternity test, but I did it anyway. And that's a big reason why your mama hates me. Did you hear what I said, baby Smurf? Your mother gave you my last name in the end, so I wouldn't take the paternity test. I took the paternity test anyway. I pretty much knew you were mine, but because I knew I had 18 years of hell ahead of me, because I knew I had 18 years of hell ahead of me, I said, you better take this paternity test and just make sure, because you're going to go through hell over the next 18 months. 18 years. And that's all I'm going to say about Mama Smurf. But nobody hit your mom. I think she said I beat her mom up in the hospital. What? I hit your mother in a hospital while she was holding you right after Man, Mama Smurf, did you really tell your daughter that? I mean, I know you had to come up with some lies for why you kept me out of her life, but my goodness, that was a bad lie, man. Don't do... Mama Smurf, did you really tell baby Smurf that I was beating on you? Why would you lie like that? I never hit you in my life. If there's any woman I've ever dated that I physically assaulted, will you please come forward? If there's any woman I've ever dated that I physically assaulted, will you please come forward? My goodness, we got to stop the cat. Is there a police report? Is there a restraining order? Is there an arrest record? Is there something on paper, brothers and sisters? Now, I'm done with Mama Smurf and Baby Smurf. I wish them the best. Baby Smurf, get your interview money. You ain't got much to tell because you don't know shit, but so be it. Let me go to Miss Vegan, because this is the new battle. The real battle is for my princess of Pan-Africanism, my baby girl. Let me give y'all one little piece of Miss Vegan. I went to every prenatal appointment for baby Smurf. I only went to the first one for the princess of Pan-Africanism. I went to almost every pediatrician appointment for baby Smurf when she was young. I wasn't invited to a single one by Mrs. Vegan. I was there when baby Smurf was born. I was the first African to hold my child when she was born, baby Smurf. I was not invited to the birth of the princess of Pan-Africanism. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say, Ms. Vegan, I hope you listening. Ms. Vegan, you better arrange for me to see my baby. Brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar was not invited to the birth of his second child. Dr. Umar was not invited to the birth of his second child. I still remember when I called Mrs. Vegan on the phone. I was blowing up on the conscious community. I was blowing up all over the world because we conceived my baby right around the Chicago interview. Shout out to my Chicago Africans. Shout out to my Chicago Africans. I was on the phone with Mrs. Vegan driving back from my Harlem lecture, October 30th, 2010, that made me the international icon that I am today, brothers and sisters. So I want y'all to put this into context. Dr. Umar gets Ms. Vegan pregnant right before September 18th, 2010, the Chicago interview, the infamous Chicago interview that made me a legend. Then 6 weeks later, he goes to New York and blows down Harlem and takes over the Black consciousness movement. And I've had it in my hands for 15 years. King Kong consciousness, 15 years. And so when I'm driving back from Harlem, I don't even know I'm about to blow up, y'all. I'm on the phone with my baby mom, Miss Vegan, baby mom. I don't even know I'm about to become the biggest name in Black consciousness in the world. I just left Harlem. I'm on the phone. When is the next doctor's appointment? Don't worry about it. I want to come to the doctor's appointment. Don't worry about it. I don't need you at the next doctor's appointment. What? Huh? I went to all my first baby's doctor's appointments. Why can't I go to my second baby? I don't want you there. I don't need you there. I said, okay. When is she scheduled to be born? I want to be there. She said, I'm not having her at a hospital. I'm having her at a birthing center. I'm not having her at a hospital. I'm having her at a birthing center. No problem. I understand you follow vegan rules. I'm with you. No problem. I understand you follow vegan rules. I'm with you. No problem. I understand you follow vegan rules. I'm with you. So she gives me the date that my daughter is supposed to be born, right? I'm talking about baby mama number 2. We talking 2011. I call her a few weeks before her due date because she wasn't letting me go to no prenatal visits. And if you don't produce my child in 2 weeks, the whole world going to know why you didn't let me go to no prenatal visits. The whole world going to find out if you don't produce my child, Mrs. Vegan. So I call her up. I said, it's almost time for your due date. I call her up. God is my witness. The ancestors are here. The ancestors are here from Africa to Alabama. I said, it's almost time for you to give birth to our baby. When is the due date? Where is the birthing center? I'm going to be there for my daughter. You kept me from all the prenatal visits, but I'm coming to the birth. I didn't feel right. I was at all baby Smurfs doctor's appointments. I went to the Lamaze class, everything, and I was being shut out by baby mom number 2. I was being shut out by baby mom number 2. I was being shut out by baby mom number 2. And when I called baby mom and said, it's almost time for you to give birth. Guess what baby mom told me, y'all? Guess what baby mom number 2, Miss Vegan, told me when I called her? She said she's already here. I couldn't believe this shit. She said she's already here. She said, I said, what? 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 What do you mean my daughter is already here? I gave birth to her 2 weeks ago. What the fuck? What? Excuse me? What? You knew I wanted to be there and you didn't call me when you were going into labor? You had my daughter without me? She said, I didn't think you cared. I said, you's a goddamn lie. I wanted to go to every appointment and you denied me. I wanted to go to every appointment and you denied me. How dare you sit here? I told you to your face I want to be there when my baby is born and you denied me the right to be there. And then I said, this sounds real funny. I said, this situation sounds real funny. Am I lying, Mrs. Vegan? Am I lying, Mrs. Vegan? Am I lying, Mrs. Vegan? I said, this situation is crazy. I said, I'm going to need a blood test. I said, we can have the paternity company come to your mama house because neither baby mom ever let me know where they lived. Some of y'all say you should have just rolled up on your child. How? How? Neither baby mom ever let me know where they live. And family court will not give the father the mother's residence if she don't let him. Not in Philadelphia. Because I've asked. I've never known where my daughters lay their heads at. I don't know today. Didn't know then. They kept it from me. So I had to go to the grandmom vegan. Grandmom vegan. So I had to see my daughter at grandma vegan's house. Now, when I go there for the first time, I knew she was my child. This for my baby girl, princess of Pan-Africanism. I knew she was my child because when her mother gave birth, although she didn't invite me, I had a dream that night that she was having some complications. The ancestors brought me a dream. My daughter was inside of a car, and one of the belts under the hood was wrapped around her neck. I was flying back from some other city, and I was rushing to get back home to get to the car repair shop to untangle this cord from around my daughter's neck. This was the dream, brothers and sisters. It was scary as hell. This baby was hanging from a cord from a car, and I'm in an airplane flying back. And when I walked into Grandma Vegan's house for the first time, when I walked into Grandma Vegan's house for the first time and saw my baby, I said, oh my God, that's the baby from the dream. The ancestors showed me my daughter before I saw her, brothers and sisters. Are y'all listening to me? Where my African spiritualists at? Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Where my African spiritualists at? Y'all know the ancestors were telling me your daughter's mother is having your child right now. The car was the mother. The ancestors speak through symbol. The car was the mother. The cord was the cord, the umbilical cord. It was wrapped around my baby neck. This is how I know you was meant to be here, princess of Pan-Africanism. This is how I knew you was meant to be here, princess of Pan-Africanism. This is how I knew you was meant to be here, princess of Pan-Africanism, because the ancestors showed me that your mother was having complications with you. And the ancestors were showing me that your baby needs you right now, but I didn't know where you were. And when your mother finally told me the date when you were born, I said, that's around the time I had the dream. And when I walked into your grandmama's house and I saw you for the first time, I said, that's my baby. That's the same baby from the dream. I'm a priest of the ancestors, in case y'all don't know. So I get truth even when I don't have evidence. I'm a priest of the ancestors, in case y'all don't know. I get proof even when I don't have the evidence. So I was mad at myself, y'all. I was mad. I said, you already been through this. Because of your sexual indiscretions, your undisciplined self, you're going to go through this again. It's all my fault. Black men, if we are going to be kings, we have to admit it's our fault. It's my fault. I take full responsibility for what happened to my oldest. I take full responsibility for what happened to my youngest.